What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now, Aubrey is in a 2-hour meeting and I've got plenty of stuff to do, mainly because our Turo fleet is entering the slow season. Rentals are slowing down, which is giving me more of an opportunity to catch up on some much needed maintenance on some of our Turo cars, starting off with our 2007 Toyota Yaris. So this car came back on a trip and the guest was complaining that the exhaust was rattling and it needed a catalytic converter, which this car doesn't need a catalytic converter, but Turo decided to unfortunately delist the vehicle, which means that I have to fix the exhaust leak, and I also have to make sure that this car gets maintenance inspected to make sure it's ready to go out on future trips, but it has to be authorized by a shop. So we'll get to that later. The first step is putting this brand new spicy header on there. Ended up being $80 versus the $300 for an OEM one, and it does need a little bit of modification, but that's nothing a few tools from Harbor Freight can't solve. But before that, let's go check in some cars, because even though it's a slow Turo season, doesn't mean it's a stop Turo season. Now, thankfully, I'm on top of my stuff, because this car is actually already ready. I just have to take nice and new shiny photos. And I will tell you, this Mazda 5 is absolutely killing it. I mean, look at all that space back there. You got a whole family plus more. Got our classical music set. Let's take our AC a little bit cooler. That way it's nice and chilly and set for the guest. Let's document how amazing this car is. Bam, 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 bam. Ha, ha, ha. Bam, bam. Taking pictures is hard work. Bye, Mazda 5. I love you too. And with that car gone and out of the way, I can continue on and get those special tools I need to make that header fit. And I think it's feeling like a windows open kind of day. Windows down. Voice command. Quality tools, the lowest prices. Harbor Freight is where you'll find me. Locking your doors doesn't really do much if your windows are down, does it? Now, there's not that many places that I genuinely go to where I have to say, man, I do not want to spend a lot of money in here and I'm gonna have to provide a lot of restraint. But this is one of those places because there's so many good deals all the time. I have the Fast Track member club advantage, so you know your boys get all the deals. Look at that. Extra, extra. Deal. Deal, 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 deal. And this is what we need. Some cutty make fit things. Wow. $7.99 for diamond bits. And you get 20 pieces. Or you pay $20 and you get 12 of the diamond bits is what I need. And all that other stuff, which is 276 things. Yeah, this is it. I've broken like a lot of these bits using them for things that probably should have been used for, with the van mostly. But I owe it to myself to get 276 new bits. Even has a handy dandy little handheld thing. That's hilarious. I'll have to go do my headers. Let's see what Aubrey's up to. She's still in her meeting, but I've got an appointment to get to, so we'll see what she does whenever she gets out.
So I just got out of a 2-hour long meeting. Now, if you haven't watched some of our past videos, you may not know this, but I actually work in consulting. I have a part-time job where I have to report to a boss and I have colleagues, and a few days a week I do have long meetings that tie me up. And because of that, whenever HP is running around, working on the fleet, running errands, I am typically tied to this desk. Now, fortunately for me, this corporate job is super flexible and I'm able to really make my own schedule based off of what I have to do, not only for my job, but also based off of what I have going on with HP and I, our Turo fleet, and YouTube. But on days where I have a 2-hour long meeting for my corporate job, it oftentimes means that I'm gonna be spending probably 10 to 12 hours sitting at this desk, either working on administrative stuff for the fleet, editing videos, researching videos, or working my job. So it does make for a very long, oftentimes sedentary day of staring at screens. Not very exciting for YouTube content. I am really excited for is my YouTube studio renovation, which comes in conjunction with the renovation and just organization of our guest room. Let me show you. Now, HP and I live in a really outdated house. Our house was built in the 70s, and everything in the house whenever we originally moved in is from the 70s. That's why you see so many of these old school doors around the house, as well as mismatched doors, as well as old school cabinets. We've been renovating this house room by room, and most of 2022 we had taken a break from renovations because we were simply too busy, but 2023 is the year that we are going to finish these renovations, and the first project is going to be our guest room and the YouTube studio. This is our guest room. It is super old, super outdated, and super gross, and very, very cluttered. Don't worry, no babies coming anytime soon. These belong to my niece. She has since outgrown them. We have our disgusting blinds over there, and just so much junk in here. It desperately needs to be organized. Honestly, most things in this room, with the exception of a handful of things, are either going to be sold or donated. We are going to completely empty out and redo this room, and we're going to turn it into something much, much more functional. And this is the first step of the process. The second step of the process is to redo the YouTube studio. This is where I film my videos for my YouTube channel, and this room is getting quickly out of hand. And there is just so much crap in here, and none of it is organized properly. Here's my laptop stand that I use for TikToks. My lighting is fine, but my desk is weirdly placed. There's so much crap that we never use. The whiteboard for the courses, the costumes for the course ads. And all of this stuff is just leading to an inefficient use of space, and I feel like it's wasted opportunity that we can use for other things. So if we were to move this desk forward a little bit, we could put another shot for like a chair in the corner of the room. That way I could diversify my content a bit. There's also just this bare wall, and I hate this texture right here. It comes off horribly on camera, and I just absolutely hate it. So we're actually going to be rebuilding this entire studio. I'm going to be replacing virtually everything. I'm going to create an organizational method for our equipment, and we're going to make this room much more functional and much more aesthetically pleasing. And it's going to start with some shiplap as well as wall decor that we're going to be putting on the wall. My hope is that the shiplap will hide the fact that this wall is just very outdated with very outdated texture. I don't like it, and I want it to be hidden. But the reality is some of this stuff needs to be kept, and we need to have a place to store it while we're renovating this room, and that is where the guest room comes into play, which is right here. So in order to get started on the YouTube studio, I first have to clean the guest room, and one of my goals for this week is to work on cleaning the guest room for a total of 5 hours. For example, this chair, which is going back to my sister's house.
Now I know I look super cool, but with my new handy dandy bits and tools, I'm gonna go ahead and make some minor adjustments on this part that we got. As most afterpark kits, unfortunately, they do not fit right the first time, so small tweaking is all. Now that my modification and clearancing is all done, I can install it. It's not too uncomfortable under here whenever you get used to the metal digging into the back of your arm, but other than that, not bad. And got it. Whew. Took way longer than expected, as these jobs typically do, but now with the part installed, there's no more rattling. I can take it to Firestone for the mechanical Turo inspection and get it listed right back on Turo, and we're good to go. But guys, as always, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next episode.